The dust is already moving when the first meerkat appears. It rises from a low burrow on the edge of the grassland, pauses, and scans the open ground. There's almost nowhere to hide. Then, beyond a patch of thorn scrub, something catches its attention. A pale shape, large enough to be seen from across the plain. An ostrich egg lies in a shallow nest, exposed beneath the morning sun. For a small predator, it is an extraordinary prize. But the egg is not alone. Several meters away, a female ostrich stands motionless, her long neck rising above the grass. The meerkat freezes. The bird has seen it. For a moment, neither moves. Then the ostrich takes one step forward. The meerkat disappears. But this is not the end of the raid. It is only the beginning. Across the dry savanna, the meerkat colony is already active. Dozens of small bodies move between burrows, termite mounds, and patches of grass, searching for insects, small reptiles, scorpions, and anything else that can provide energy in a landscape where food is never guaranteed. For a colony, cooperation is not simply useful. It is part of everyday survival. One individual may remain upright as a sentry while others forage. Some members search. Others stay close to the safety of the burrow. And when danger appears, information can move through the group in seconds. That makes a colony very different from a solitary predator. A single meerkat is small and vulnerable. A group can investigate opportunities that one animal could never approach alone. Today, the opportunity is enormous, but so is the risk. The ostrich nest sits in open terrain where there is little cover. That is typical of ostrich nesting behavior. The eggs are laid in a communal nest, a shallow scrape in the ground, and several females may contribute eggs to the same nest. The result can be a concentration of food that is difficult for predators to ignore. But the adults are difficult to ignore too. An ostrich can stand nearly 3 meters tall. Its legs are built for running, and its feet carry powerful toes capable of delivering a dangerous kick. For the meerkats, getting close is therefore a calculation. Move too quickly, and the adult sees them. Move too slowly, and the opportunity may disappear. The first meerkat approaches again. It does not charge. It stays low, moving a short distance
High on the
before
mound,
stopping.
the sentry
Its head
scans
rises.
the horizon,
The
a
ostrich
critical
watches.
role ensuring the
Another
survival
meerkat
of the foraging
appears
group
behind
below.
it. Then another. The colony is beginning to gather, but they do not rush the bird. Instead, they wait. The female ostrich steps toward the nest. The meerkats retreat. She stops. They stop. The entire encounter becomes a strange contest of distance. The bird has the size and physical power. The colony has numbers. And somewhere beneath that shallow layer of soil is a food source capable of feeding several hungry predators. Then the ostrich turns away. The nearest meerkat moves. This time, it reaches the edge of the nest. It sniffs the ground. The egg is far larger than anything the animal normally handles. Its shell is thick. Its surface is smooth. And even before the meerkat attempts anything, the problem becomes obvious. This is not an easy meal to carry. It is not even an easy meal to move. The meerkat pushes against the shell. The egg shifts slightly. It stops. The ostrich turns. The meerkat retreats. Another meerkat approaches from the opposite side. The bird follows. Then a third appears. The ostrich turns again. The pattern is changing. The colony has discovered that approaching from different directions forces the giant bird to constantly reassess where the threat is coming from. But there is an important difference between distracting an ostrich and defeating one. The nest is still within the bird's reach, and the egg is still heavy. A meerkat cannot simply pick it up and run. The colony must find another solution. Instead of carrying the egg, they begin pushing. The first animal braces its body against the shell. The egg rolls, only a short distance, but it rolls. Another meerkat joins. Then another. The shell moves again. The nest is beginning to change. The ostrich sees the movement. Her body rises higher. Her wings spread slightly. She advances. The nearest meerkat scatter. The egg stops. For several seconds, nothing moves. Then the colony begins again. This time, the pressure comes from multiple sides. One meerkat pushes, another circles. A third remains farther away, watching the adult bird. The egg rolls another meter. The ostrich closes the distance. The colony abandons the egg and retreats. There is no victory yet, only another attempt. And this is where the real advantage of a social predator becomes visible. The colony can afford to lose time. It can afford to retreat. It can try again. The ostrich cannot remain in constant pursuit forever. Every chase costs energy. Every movement through loose sand requires effort. And the hottest part of the day is approaching. The meerkats seem to understand the landscape in a way the ostrich cannot exploit in the same manner. They know where the burrows are. They know the low ground. They know the routes between patches of cover. If the egg can be moved toward their territory, the balance may change. But there is another problem. The farther the egg travels, the more exposed it becomes. A rolling egg leaves the nest. Once it moves beyond the shallow depression, it can pick up speed. A badly timed push could send it downhill. A collision with a rock could crack the shell. And if the egg breaks too far from the burrow, the colony may lose its prize to other scavengers. The meerkats try again. The ostrich charges. The colony scatters. The egg rolls. For an instant, it appears to be moving towards safety. Then it strikes a patch of hard ground and changes direction. Several meerkats rush after it. The ostrich follows. Dust rises around their feet. The giant bird is now running. The small predators are running too. But they are not trying to outrun the ostrich. They are trying to reach the egg first. One meerkat reaches the shell and pushes. Nothing. Another joins. The egg shifts. The ostrich
Utilizing their
closes
collective
in.
strength,
The
the
meerkats
group manages
retreat
to shift
once
the massive
more.
egg,
The egg
a testament
remains
to
where
their
it is.
cooperative
For
instincts
the
in this
first
harsh
time,
environment.
the colony strategy seems close to failure. The temperature climbs. The open ground offers little shelter. And the adult ostrich has no reason to abandon the nest. Her presence alone is enough to keep the predators under pressure. Yet the colony has another advantage: time. The ostrich must protect the nest. The meerkats only need an opportunity. Eventually, the female moves back toward the original nest site. The meerkats wait. She lowers her head briefly, then raises it again. Nothing appears to happen, but one member of the colony has already moved behind a low mound. Another follows. The group is repositioning. The next approach comes from farther away. The ostrich turns toward the movement. That is exactly what the meerkats wanted. Several individuals advance toward the bird while others move toward the egg. The ostrich reacts. She starts forward. The first group retreats. The second group reaches the egg. A push. The shell rolls. Another push. It moves again. The ostrich turns. Now the egg is several meters from the nest. She charges. The meerkats scatter. But the egg keeps rolling. It reaches a slight slope. Gravity takes over. The massive shell moves faster. The colony races behind it. The ostrich follows. For several seconds, the entire scene becomes a contest between momentum and protection. The egg rolls toward a patch of broken ground. If it strikes the rocks, it could crack. The nearest meerkat reaches it first. It pushes sideways. Another joins. The egg changes direction. The ostrich is almost there. One more push. The shell clears the rocky patch. The colony continues toward the cover of a low termite mound. The ostrich stops. She has reached the limit of the chase. The egg is no longer beside the nest, but it is not yet safe. The meerkats have moved it only a short distance. Other predators could still find it. A jackal, a bird of prey, another scavenger, and the colony itself must still break through the thick shell. The animals gather around it. Some sniff, others push and paw at the surface, but the egg remains intact. The shell of an ostrich egg is extraordinarily strong, designed to protect the developing embryo in an exposed nest. For the meerkats, brute force alone is not enough. They need an opening. One animal bites at a weak point. Another scratches. Eventually, a small fracture appears. Then another. The shell begins to give way. Back at the nest, the female ostrich remains standing. She has not followed them into the cover. Perhaps the risk is no longer worth the energy. Perhaps the distance is simply too great. Whatever the reason, the confrontation is over. The colony has won access to the egg. But this is not a story about a tiny animal defeating a giant one. The ostrich was never physically overpowered. The meerkats never became stronger. They survived the encounter through a combination of numbers, persistence, coordination, and an opportunity created by the landscape. And the ostrich has not failed in some human sense either. Her nest represents a difficult biological investment. Every egg matters because the next generation depends on surviving the vulnerable period between laying and hatching. But the African savanna does not guarantee protection. An egg can be taken by mammals. It can be attacked by birds. It can be damaged by heat, weather, or simple bad fortune. Even the most powerful parent cannot control every threat. For the meerkats, the same landscape presents a different problem. Their bodies are small. Their food requirements are constant. Their colony survives by exploiting opportunities that larger animals cannot always defend forever. Today, that opportunity was an ostrich nest. Tomorrow, it may be something far smaller. An insect beneath a stone, a lizard crossing open ground, a scorpion exposed by digging. Survival is rarely about winning every encounter. It is about knowing when to
meerkats
approach,
must work quickly
when to retreat,
if they are to secure their
and when
prize before
persistence
the
has
mother
finally
returns.
created an opening. As the afternoon heat settles across the grassland, the ostrich walks slowly back toward the abandoned nest. The ground is marked with footprints. The shallow scrape remains, but one enormous egg is gone. The colony disappears into the shelter of its burrow system, carrying the reward of a dangerous gamble. For a few moments, the savanna becomes quiet again. No battle cries, no pursuit, no movement around the empty nest. Just wind passing through dry grass. The ostrich stands over the place where the egg once rested. The meerkats are already out of sight. Neither side has changed the rules of the wild. The ostrich still possesses the strength of one of Africa's largest birds. The meerkats still possess the advantages of cooperation, and the next nest, the next meal, and the next confrontation will be decided by the same unforgiving equation. Size can protect, speed can protect, numbers can protect, but none of them guarantees survival. On this landscape, every advantage has a limit, and sometimes the difference between going hungry and living another day is nothing more than a moment when several small animals decide to move together.